Undefeated OP07 Japan Doflamingo. It's a great day here at Kekfilet's YouTube channel. I am the Kekfilet, and today is OP07 Doflamingo. There was an undefeated blue Doflamingo in a Japan tournament. Now, I'm going to use undefeated in a little bit of a loose term. Please don't click away yet. I swear he was undefeated. He was in a 3v3 tournament, and his team went 7 wins, 2 losses, so they didn't make like a top cut. However, he still went 9-0. In a 3v3, there is going to be a lot more of less pure meta decks, so probably less Black Yellow Luffy, Red Purple Law, probably actually even more, because you'll probably see all of those, and a plethora of other decks. But we'll go over all this person's matchups and some of their insights. And without further ado, let's just jump right into the goo. So I saw this on Twitter today from this username, the VE28V8Z. And they did a 3v3 tournament in Japan playing Blue Doflamingo. And essentially, there are no more like flash tournaments this month, is what it says. But using Blue Doflamingo is pretty strong right now. And I'll kind of go over their list a little bit and some of my ideas. But their matchups are going to be important. I'm actually going to go over the matchups first, and then go over some insights, and then go from there. In this 3v3, he ended up facing a Red Purple Law, then a Yellow Enel, a Taxi Luffy, another Red Purple Law, a Purple Kaido, and another 2 Taxi Luffys, and a Perona. So with that, he said no unfavorable matchups. I don't know what matchups are unfavorable. And he's happy that he finished the tournament. There were some things, basically in here, there were some people had some questions, but most of them were asking them for the list. And then he ended up giving a list in another post. And let's go over the list before I actually go over some of his improvements or thoughts. So initially, of course, we have 8 searches, the normal 8 searches that we would normally have. And then on top of that, we'll go over the high end, actually still running 3 of this blue Kaido. This blue Kaido is so strong. I think he actually relies on it most of the time, which actually it's pretty good. Red Purple Law, can't remove it. Black Yellow Luffy has to just deal with it. And it's really good into those matchups, realistically. If you can stall until your 10 Dawn turn and get to that point, it's pretty good. The other top end is just 2 Boa Hancocks. This card's very disruptive and just a good beat stick from this point on. They are playing 6 of these events, so 3 Red Rock, 3 of the Raging Tiger Gravity Blade, and on top of that, they're running a Femur just for some flavor here. And on top of that, they are running a Gum Gum Rain, which is pretty strong in its own right to help out with any of these non-counter cards, which is all down here. Now, the great thing about this deck is that there are a lot of 7 Warlords decks. All of these cards up here, besides Perona and Pudding, are 7 Warlords. I guess you count this, but it's all usable with your leader skill. And he does run the 2 Gecko Moria Vanilla for 6Ks. 4 of the new Edward Weevil from EB01. This is just a draw 1 card. Very, very strong. You actually really want to see this in conjunction with the Jimbei. Jimbei is also going to be really good. I actually like seeing Jimbei over other cards, just because you can actually like go second, or on your 5 Dawn turn, you can play down Jimbei and use Jimbei to play down a Doflamingo. It's a pretty good setup as far as that goes. And then they also run this Gecko Moria, the one that lets you draw a 7 Warlord or a Thriller Bark from your trash. On top of that, the 4/5 Mihawk and the 4/5 Crocodile. This Crocodile is actually really good the more I think about it. It is a better Mihawk, but at least a Mihawk is still a Mihawk. Lets you filter out your hand if you really need to, but mostly a 2K counter. And then this new Law is very, very strong. It actually looks like, to me, this person's playing 2 Law, 2 Boa Hancock blockers. So I actually just caught that he's playing 2 blockers still back there. I may have to ask him a little bit about that, because I thought that card was dead, but apparently it's pretty good. But Law is very annoying, a lot of hand destruction, but maybe not so much of the 4 of compared to these other two, which I thought maybe the Law would be a little better, but these are still a 5k. Pudding, obviously super strong, very hand destructive, pretty much obliterates decks sometimes, including Whitebeard. So honestly, it's kind of a staple at this point for any blue deck, but especially in decks where you can just fit a few random cards in. And then, of course, for Perona, which I wasn't so pro, but it seems that people just still run it anyway because it's good. And on top of that, for the 3-cost Doflamingo, one of the best cards in the deck. And then on top of that, the Jinbei lets you call out a card. I will go over what the strategy was. They did go over the strategy quite a bit, actually, in one of these tweets. And it was talking about how do you face red-purple Law. And he says, well, first of all, thank you for going 9-0. Kid Killer is really tough. And I try to keep at least 3 lives, preferably 4. So they try to stay at very high life. It's kind of easy because red-purple Law can never attack you tall. And since he just wants to set up 10 Kaido, he prioritizing Bentham. I'm assuming that means Boa Hancock, possibly. But he's prioritizing going a little different, but he definitely wants to set up the 10-drop Kaido going forward. But maybe this is like a mistranslation with the Bentham. I'm assuming it's a Boa Hancock. But most of the other tweets here were just like very nice tweets, just saying how awesome this is. A move from Boa Hancock's courage to achieve and complete victory of Blue Doflamingo. I don't you love Twitter and their auto translation. Yeah, my thoughts personally, right? This looks pretty good. I honestly would probably play this right out of the get-go. And you are playing toward that 10-drop Kaido turn. It's very, very strong. I was very pro. Doflamingo would actually make this card work the best because you're aggressive enough in order to get to 10 Dawn. So you can either win board or play this. So your opponent forces you to lose board, but you have enough life and free will just to play a 10-drop Kaido. And on top of that, you can fight your opponent's board with obviously red rocks and other things of that sort. So it seems that this deck is nothing to sneeze at, has positive matchups, and really looking forward to the future of it. I think this is our time. Maybe not SSS tier, but it's getting there. The cope levels are real for this OP01 deck. But I want to know what you guys think in the comments. And before I do that, I actually want to say thank you so much for all the patrons I just recently got. And looking forward to more of that. I will be having some more guides on the Patreon very soon. I don't have actually a single guide on there just yet, but I'll be working with a few great players to get you a Sakazuki, a red-purple Law. I don't have an Enel guide set up just yet, but I'm really positive with Black Yellow Luffy being so good. And on top of that, I am working with some people and just doing a little bit more of a casual focused, more of a tier 2 deck that is really, really strong going forward. Such decks like Perona. So I will be working on that with other people on top of me doing Blue Doflamingo things. So, with that, let me know what you guys think about this Blue Doffy list in the comments.
Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video. Ciao.